Oh, shit! Yeah!
All right, let me see if it's actually on.
Oh, it's on!
All right.
Check to see I got it.
All right, hold on. Don't worry. Hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, wait.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Dang, I did it.
You done did it. All right, so posting up the link. Share. Bada boom. It is shared on the Facebooks. Now let me share it on my own personal page. Mr. Media. And I full gear. Tune in now, cabrones.
Sounds like in the voice text where you have to say each word, enunciate each syllable so that it gets it right. And then it freezes when you say cabrones.
Cabrones. What's a cabrones?
I like my tacos that way. Tacos al cabron.
Did it share? What the hell?
Did it?
I don't think so. I swear, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. Chris, how you been?
Catching up, getting closer to normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
Work's not as crazy as it was in the beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Or beginning of last month. It's been over a month
It has been over a month.
since we've done this. You sure you remember how this works?
No, I don't.
No?
Apparently, can't figure out how Facebook works.
So this is called the landing strip. That's the name of the studio. So normally you do the whole Kermit the Frog thing. Live from the landing strip because we're live because we're actually like YouTube's actually on.
Yeah.
And then you just start talking like you're just the two of us chilling, talking shit about Astros losing the World Series.
Oh, dude, don't start. Don't start.
Or the Texans going 1-15.
Well,
Or what else?
Rockets not doing very well.
Or like being released again from WWE.
Yeah.
No. Could be worse. We could have COVID again.
Yeah.
You still diddling with that phone?
I'm diddling the phone, man.
We could have started recording this earlier. But your phone, your computer wanted to do all these other updates again because you hadn't turned it on for the last month.
Pues ni modo.
No.
I still don't like. Why didn't it? Like I shared it twice and it's not even showing up.
Go on your personal profile page.
I just did.
Scroll down and see if you see the links there.
That's not there.
What?
Yeah.
All right, then you give up. That's it. Yeah, good run.
Well, maybe if you would share something, you know.
Carpal tunnel, man.
Yeah.
I gotta save my hands for work.
Oh,
Just like you gotta save your voice for work tomorrow.
Oh, that is true. That's
You
true.
wanna yeah, you got it.
You got a little pizza juice.
Yeah, one of the curb feelers.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Pizza Hut.
Yeah. I'm sure Randy and Portis, can you make this face before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I hope you tip them when you're done.
Oh my God. These gummy bears are not good for podcast talking because like you gotta chew it for like 30 seconds
And you hear it.
Yeah, and it makes your mouth water, and you can't really like you're just out of commission for like 30 seconds.
So I had to make it worth it. So these aren't just like dollar stores.
No, these are good.
These are Black Forest.
Black Forest.
And they're not organic. They're like the real like killers. Our diabetes were fucked, but at least we're gonna go out with a smile.
Okay.
These are good.
So they're real gummy bears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See,
You don't know,
right.
you don't understand how real the struggle is because you haven't had like dollar store gummy bears. You haven't had the gummy bears that like they don't dissolve. Like you just chew them like you want to chew them, but you don't really break them, and then you just swallow them, and then like a day and a half later you look at your poop and it's like Skittles, all these different colors, and these like gummies sticking out like you motherfucker. I didn't want to see all that shit. Literally.
Live from the landing strip in Houston, Texas. It's the 389th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
It's Chris.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. We very much appreciate it. If you found us on Facebook, thanks. Because apparently I can't get it to go. But if you're joining us live, awesome. Log into your YouTube or your Google account. That way you can chat along with us in the live chat. I'll see you, here on the thing. I'll try to involve you as best as I can in the show. So feel free to say hi, fact check, talk shit, ask us questions, whatever. If you're not watching this live, that's okay. You can still interact with us just down in the comments down below or on Facebook whenever it wants to work. Facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio. Boom! These are really good. But they're terrible for talking. You need to have something crunchy and quick that you can just drop and swallow.
Put you on the spot. It's been 5 weeks. Some of your highlights of professional wrestling match-wise in the last 5 weeks.
Does it have to be match-wise?
It's whatever you want to do.
All right.
What has tickled your fancy?
The promo between Eddie Kingston and CM Punk.
Oh, you going straight for the jugular.
Ding! Where's Dingy? Hold on. Let me get my Dingy out.
That's what they said.
Where's she at? Where's she at? Come here,
I
Dingy.
hear it.
I hear you. Somewhere in there. Rattling around.
We only use like a fourth of the shit that's in your backpack. So if you had like a satchel just for your laptop, like you used to, you had a satchel with your laptop and all the cables and then dingy. I saw you mine.
I would have came back with a snappy response, but I had a fucking gummy bear in my mouth.
Just one? I know you're not. I know you can't handle just one.
Just one. At a time.
Everybody takes a number though. Eddie Kingston, CM Punk. This is not the first time that with 2 weeks' notice, you put Eddie Kingston in the ring with an opponent and a microphone in the middle, and he makes you want to put down $60 to watch him fight. What was it about this promo with Eddie Kingston and CM Punk that's got you in a fervor?
Now, I didn't say that I wanted to put down $60 to watch them fight. I said I enjoyed the promo. And I still enjoy the promo. And the thing that I'm disappointed with is that we're not going to get a couple of more weeks of promos. And that we're just going to get a match. Which, I don't really like Eddie Kingston in the ring.
God damn, dude!
So,
well, obviously you're not wearing his shirt.
It's true. I don't really like Eddie Kingston in the ring. I don't. I haven't. He has not yet won me over.
Is he a product of John Moxley?
No, I didn't like Eddie Kingston from before. Okay. From Impact, I was like, oh man, no. I don't know. Just something about his in-ring style, I just don't like. I just haven't. But I love his talking abilities. I love his speaking persona and character. So I wish that it wasn't 2 weeks before, give him a mic and then boom, that just sells the match. I'm sold on the story. I'm disappointed on the fact that the story is going to end maybe at this match and we're getting the match that quick. Now, hopefully, maybe the match isn't going to be the end of the story and it was just a 2-week story. And that's what I'm holding out hope for. But it was the first time in the CM Punk Love Fest that I was like, oh, now we're getting to where, forget the Love Fest, now we're getting down to business. And I didn't feel that with Darby. Mm-hmm. With Darby, I felt like it was still Love Fest. I didn't get that with Taz. With Taz, I felt like, okay, he's going to make short work of the Taz goons and that's it. Now it's like, okay, now it's time to fucking, get into a real angle, real storyline. The only thing is I'm going to be disappointed with the actual payoff. I'm going to eat some gummy bears.
Is it a disservice to Eddie Kingston to just have him either as a manager or as a color commentator because he's so good at speaking despite his wrestling career from your perspective, because you don't see him as that guy that doesn't matter because you don't like his work or you don't think
I can't wait till he becomes old enough to where he has to retire and just be a manager or a commentator or something.
because I honestly don't remember him wrestling at Impact. I remember him managing LAX.
Yeah.
Or was it the OGs?
It was LAX.
So LAX. I didn't watch much of him wrestle, so most of this is new to me.
These things are so fucking juicy. I need to stop eating these, but I can't stop eating these. What did you say, Black Forest?
Yeah.
Who knew gummy bears were so citrusy?
Next time, I'll break out the worms.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Papa.
Then you can role play. This is the first time where it might not come across as somebody can dethrone CM Punk, but I want this guy to dethrone CM Punk.
Okay.
You're gonna come from you're coming from the aspect of that promo in the ring where CM Punk called him a bum and Eddie Kingston like stood up to him and he had a crowd that, well, basically an audience. As an example, that crowd, but there's an audience right now that CM Punk does no wrong. Like Darby's in the ring, they're chanting for CM Punk.
Right.
You know, you got another face like Eddie Kingston, that the blue collar kind of kid that's willing to fight to the death. He's actually getting a reaction instead of CM Punk.
Okay.
You know, but I'm gonna come at you from a different aspect because he released a piece on the Players Tribune. And I took the time to read that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't admit this. During work.
And you didn't have anything better to do.
I had a break. And it was a gut punch, bro, to the kidneys. Like, this is CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. These are guys you look at as like, man, these guys aren't main event people.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Yes, movement. CM Punk, 434 days with the world title.
Right.
And just like in that promo, it was Punk and Cena. This time Punk was Cena and Eddie Kingston was Punk.
Yeah.
You know? But you keep reading this guy's stories and his troubles. And
how long was this of a read?
15 minutes.
Okay.
And I read pretty fast. And it was still about 15 minutes. And it goes
have to sound it out.
It goes through his life. It goes through him being a kid and being a troublemaker, battling his depressions, battling lack of funds.
All that in 15 minutes?
It's relatable. Any one of us that has struggled through COVID, any one of us that has known what it's like to see your bank account go to zero, anyone that knows what it's like to struggle with looking for affection and not knowing what it feels like when it's given to you. Like it's fucking real, dude. And now a lot more people are being open about that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, Arnold sits here all the time whenever we have to break down another wrestler passing away because they choose to take their life. Mm-hmm. You know, it's shit. And to see a guy like him face it, knock it out, and walk past it, that's the kind of, I don't want to say role model, but that's the kind of path that anyone can relate to that would want to follow that path, but just thinks that it's not a path they can make. You look at Eddie Kingston, he's exhibit A of somebody making it down that path. So if he can make it, I can make it. Arnold can make it. You can make it. People watching can make it. You know?
Like Daniel Price.
Daniel,
welcome. Man? Thank you for joining us in the live chat.
So as a wrestling fan, as a fucking human, I want CM Punk to get his ass fucking murdered by fucking.
Really?
Yeah, I am
okay.
And again, like I mentioned earlier, this isn't the first time. With like 2 weeks' notice, we got Eddie Kingston versus fucking Moxley at Full Gear. You remember that promo face to face? They couldn't touch each other, but they're talking about each other's mamas that were like, God damn! If my mama was here, I'd give her a big hug. You know, and just in that one promo, you're like, I'm ready for this. That's we're seeing it now. The magic of Eddie Kingston on the mic. There's very few people in wrestling that have had it.
Yeah.
And there aren't that many right now. Possibly with the exception of Punk, who can also do it. So watching them go back and forth is like, oh man, here we go. I'm stoked for this.
And while I am a Punk lover through and through, I've loved seeing Punk for a long, long time. At some point he came this close to dethroning Bret Hart as my favorite wrestler of all time. This close. I don't know who I want to be the heel. I'm enjoying the CM Punk Love Fest. I'm enjoying it because I love CM Punk. But I know that he can do great heel work. And I don't want Eddie Kingston as a face at all. I never run him as a face. So when you told me to read this, I didn't read it because I was at work. But if I wasn't at work, I probably still wanted to read it because I don't want to sympathize with the guy. I want him to stay as a heel because I think he'd be better as a heel.
You don't want personal to interfere with your entertainment, basically.
Yeah, but
not in a negative way, but just you don't want your vision of CM Punk to be tainted by something that could actually be possibly tainted.
I'm talking more about Eddie, you know, but it's really more like I don't necessarily want to have myself garner sympathy for a quasi face turn that I don't think is going to be an actual face turn
or won't last
because this guy should be a heel. He should be a heel his entire fucking career. You know,
no tweener, no in between.
Maybe I don't know, but maybe that goes back to the whole fact that I still don't like the guy in ring.
I get it. That's cool. That's a fair assessment.
Robert, Mr. Medlin. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Aaron.
Dang!
Oh boy. Hey, Aaron. What's up, Aaron? Thank you for joining us on the live chat. Aaron says,
I love doing the M&M commercials that have been coming out, Aaron. Looking good.
What?
Yeah. Got rid of his hair. Got that fade now. He looks like that kid from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Son of the dad from American Pie.
He says Bret Hart looks like Old Man Raven.
Oh, dang.
I mean, they're all old. I mean, I don't know. Sean kind of got hit more with the ugly stick than Bret in old age.
I can imagine the night that Bret got screwed over Survivor Series. What about me? His arms all out.
Pretending Price goes, ooh, Chris is going to give Abel his worm. Remember you talking about the worms?
Yeah.
Because, you know, we had the gummy bears, not the gummy worms. God damn, get these things away from me.
No.
Any
interest in reading Moxley's book or listening to Moxley read his book?
Actually, yeah. I think it's just because I've seen a couple of excerpts here and there. Everybody's talking about the Kevin Dunn.
Are we getting a rebuttal tonight?
I don't know who the fuck this John Moxley guy thinks he fucking is. All right, but I'm Kevin Dunn. I run the show there. Yeah. This little pissant who ran away to second, third rate, an indie promotion. He's in an indie promotion. He doesn't. Nobody's gonna read his book. Nobody's gonna give a shit. It's libel. It's slander. I don't know. When it's written, it's libel. It's libel. I'm suing. And I'm getting new teeth and I'm getting veneers and dentures. Because he's making a bad name for my outstanding name. And he's besmirching. Yes, thank you. He's besmirching. Shout out to William Regal. And Regal, he never fucked me in the ass. Like Moxley's or what? Ambrose. Yeah, right. It's Ambrose. He's still Ambrose to me, Dad. That kid was nothing. That's Moxley. The only reason why people know him is his run as United States champion. That's Dean Ambrose. They're the greatest United States champion run of all time.
You like that Roman thing, though, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. Roman was definitely better. Definitely better than Ambrose. You had Ambrose, you had Rollins, and you had Roman, and it's like A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But like
you notice he used Roman as his first name,
right? Yeah, because we're cool like that. Yeah. Sometimes that's what we call him Joe. And
really?
Yeah. We're on a first name basis. Yeah. I asked him if I could fuck a couple of his, people in his family. He said no, but I'm still working. And God damn, these are some good fucking Care Bears. What are these? No, this is good. Good job, Paul. But yeah, Kevin Dunn.
They were on your rider. That's why I
yeah,
make sure that
yeah,
got the right one.
Yeah, you know what? You better have these in my fucking room, in my trailer. The video production trailer.
With that two-way glass, right?
Yeah. I get a lot of use out of that two-way glass. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I got important shit I gotta do. I'm tired of talking about John Moxley. See you, everyone. Bye. Thank you for having me. I'm Kevin Dunn.
I have a couple of pennies put to the side because I have heard that there's an audio book, and it's a Moxley reading his own book. And I will pay to hear. It's basically his fucking podcast with
Renee.
No.
Okay.
With Jericho, when he got on Jericho's podcast after he got released and did his whole hoopla and showed up as John Moxley, he just he laid in on those hour and a half of all the goings on about how he hated the heel turn and how he thought that making him look dumb. And so if it's like that, but 3 hours, 4 hours long of just hearing Moxley go off.
Yeah.
The excerpt of Kevin Dunn. It's not going to be that kind of book. Fuck Kevin Dunn. Just imagine him saying all that.
Yeah.
So he will actually be reading all that. You'll hear his perspective with his own words. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get my hands on that.
I'm interested. I'm not sure if I will actually go out and read it because I only have so many wrestling hours in me per week.
That's why audiobook. Drive to work, back. That's what, 2 hours. Whether
it's an audio or if it's reading it or whatever, I only have so much time to give to wrestling nowadays in my world. Dude, I've been saying this over and over. I'm falling out of love with wrestling, man. I really am.
You don't have the time to give it. How many hours of Raw are you watching?
0. I haven't watched Raw in a month.
How many hours of SmackDown a week are you watching?
Nada. I haven't watched it in a month and a half.
How about Crystal Pepsi on Tuesdays? How much of NXT 2.0 are you watching?
I haven't watched nada.
Settle. Have you been filling that time with MLW?
No.
New Japan? Impact?
Mm-mm.
Ring of Honor?
No. So
you've got plenty of time to spare.
Not really.
Sounds like.
Not really. I still have 5 hours worth of AEW to watch.
You fast forward to half of that shit.
Yeah. Daniel agrees with me. He says, not just you, Abel. Wrestling just isn't interesting anymore. None of it. Aaron says, wrestling hours, you need stamina. You better get that Blue Chew partnership. I mean, is that what's in these fucking gummy bears? Is this Blue Chew gummy bears?
Look, I've known you for almost 20 years. I have Blue Chew if you want it. I gotta hide that shit for you. All right? You want the Zinfandel, you want the Tilapia? What's your poison?
Isn't that a type of wine? The Zinfandel? What the fuck? Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you later. And
it's kind of ironic we're both dressed in black because we're about to give a nice sentimental eulogy. Nice rack. You've been working on your rack.
Yeah.
Tell them your first fondest memory of Ring of Honor.
My first fondest memory of Ring of Honor. Watching on DVD The American Dragon versus Nigel McGuinness. Where Nigel he had a torn bicep and he tore the other one in the middle of the match, and he's defending his championship, trying to do the London Dungeon and the Tower of London, but he can't pull it off. And oh god, that was a beautiful matchup. Beautiful match. Love it. Oh, you want my second one? My second one is going to Super Card of Honor right before WrestleMania 25 here in Houston, Texas, and for some reason, what sticks out to me is the guy that was from Japan that would come out with a dog on a leash that wasn't there. Do you know who that guy was? I don't remember, but that was his gimmick. He came out like in this fucking fancy get up, and he had a leash, right? Like he was walking a dog, but there was no dog there.
My first fondest memory is having somebody with a copy of a DVD or something and said, "You need to watch this." No context whatsoever. Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi.
Ooh, daddy!
My second fondest memory is that same weekend because we were in the same row, motherfucker. That second night when it was that little girl's birthday.
Oh,
Pass the cake.
No.
Was that the first night?
No, that was 24, not 25. It was when we went to Orlando.
So 20, you went to 24 because you had
Yeah.
War of the Worlds. That was you watched Ring of Honor live before I did. You went to 24. It was ROH versus New
But
Japan.
we were both there, weren't we? We both went to Orlando.
We both went for
24.
WrestleMania, but I didn't go to that show.
You didn't go to the Ring of Honor?
No.
Was that just me and David?
Yep. It was just you and David.
Oh.
Yeah. The next night
okay.
after Mania, my wife and I, well, girlfriend, fiance at the time, we drove back. Y'all were still at the arena to watch Ric Flair's retirement. Y'all did that. My first was 25. Supercard of Honor, where it was all of us. It was Sean, you, David, me, Aaron, about 2 or 3 other people. Brandon, I think. Scott was sitting over here for the first night.
Travis was there somewhere, wasn't he?
Not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pass the cake. And didn't the ring break? And
it broke the first night.
That was Booker's ring. They borrowed Booker T's ring from ROW BWA. They borrowed his ring and the ring fucked up.
So the second night, the match starts, and before the match starts, everybody's chanting, "Test the ropes," and Cole's like tugging at him. But I've been to maybe half a dozen Ring of Honor shows after that. We've driven to San Antonio. We've interviewed Keith Lee, Shane Taylor, Adam Cole, the Kingdom.
Aaron says his fondest memory of ROH does myself and Chris chanting, "You got herpes" to Rudy Russo.
We had a past.
Yeah.
Well, I was a jerk.
Sorry, you were gonna transition.
We've been to about a dozen Ring of Honor shows. It's more coming, but COVID, right? You know, Sinclair, but and after for some of them,
like
which isn't.
Yeah. All right. So what's the question?
You think they'll come? You think they'll come back, or is it done after Final Battle?
I honestly don't know, man, because this news kind of came out of nowhere, and then it went away. So I don't know if it's because Sinclair's keeping it all hush hush, or if that really is it. Like, and maybe again, it's me not doing my due diligence to pay enough attention. But like when I saw all the news, I was like, damn, that sucks. I haven't really watched ROH in a long time, anyways, and all I really care about from ROH is Shane Taylor. That's it.
Right now, name 6 talents for Ring of Honor.
Shane Taylor. Danhausen? Danhausen is technically in ROH, right?
I believe so, yes.
I mean,
I don't know what it is, but I know it's out there a lot.
Yeah.
It's getting around.
Like, Danhausen's cool.
Broke his leg.
He did. I mean, I like his character. I like, you know, what I have seen from like being the Elites and him being on Ethan Page's show where they're finding toys and shit at comic shops.
Is he like a zombie Conan O'Brien? I don't know what his gimmick is.
I mean, he's just funny. I don't know. Like, I don't get the whole like, oh, he's Conan O'Brien thing. I don't understand that because I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any references to Conan O'Brien. To me, he's just a dude that's painted up, that's supposed to be evil, but he's very heartwarming, very wholesome. So like, he's evil, but he's wholesome. You know, and I'm like, I'm cool with that. I don't see where the Conan O'Brien thing mixes in. I have no idea what that is. But I've never really seen him wrestle.
Neither have I.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I like his character. I want to see more of him. But I'm not sure.
You're at 2.
I'm not sure if he actually wrestles for ROH exclusively. So I don't know. Is he? So okay, Shane Taylor, maybe Danhausen.
If it's a maybe, then you're still stuck at 1. So Shane Taylor.
Shane Taylor. Who is in Shane Taylor's crew? The Shane Taylor Promotions.
He's got a tag team. I forget.
Okay, the Shane Taylor's tag team. Maybe that's 3.
Yeah, you don't know them, so you're still at 1.
Okay, I'm still at 1. Parazzo? Deanna Parazzo? Is she
No,
in
she's
ROH?
Impact.
She moved?
Yeah, Impact.
She's not there anymore? I don't know.
Still at 1.
Fucking Nigel McGuinness?
Commenting for NXT UK, but I like where you're going.
Okay, then
help you out a little bit. Jay Lethal.
Oh, he's still wrestling.
He's still there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Jay Lethal. Okay.
Who's the other kid from the Kingdom? Matt Taven's still there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still there.
Is Bennett there now? Did Mike Bennett go back to ROH?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Jonathan Gresham is a guy that you might want to look forward to because what he up to this point had been doing, someone in AEW is doing right now.
Oh yeah.
So when Gresham was holding the Pure title, he had like a 9-match win streak, and all 9 matches he finished them with a different finisher or submission. There's someone in AEW doing that right now.
Who's doing that?
Brian Danielson.
Is he?
Yeah. And they're both short as fuck. And they're both they're both technically sound wrestling.
And
Gresham's contract will be up at the end of the year through the Ring of Honor.
Didn't Gresham come through ROW for a little bit for like a cup of coffee?
2 shows maybe?
Was that it? Just
Yeah.
2 shows? Okay, so he
Yeah.
wasn't like trained at books. He just like had
Yeah.
a couple of shows and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I think I know who you're talking about.
Beer City Bruiser, like his personality, especially when he broke free from
The
Silas Young.
Silas Young.
Silas
Yeah.
Young. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was still wrestling or he was still there.
What's the cute chick's names with the glasses, the interviewer? Oh. It's on all the videos. Oh, somebody in the chat help me. There's more, but I can't like Briscoe's the.
Oh yeah, the Briscoes, of course.
But there's other wrestlers that it felt like Ring of Honor went through the same problem that ECW did.
Yeah.
Higher promotions took ECW's talent and they couldn't make stars to replace them fast enough.
Right.
Ring of Honor at one point between NXT and AEW was gutted.
Yeah.
Gutted.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't make people fast enough.
I mean,
They had Flip. Flip Gordon's
Flick.
another guy.
Yeah.
That's Ring of Honor. He had the gimmick going even before he turned heel and went to the Bullet Club. But again, that's like how you now struggle to come up with 5.
Yeah.
Solidified 5.
Yeah.
I had 6 or 7, but even then, 6 or 7 does not a division make.
It was a struggle.
A promotion.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the other part of. I want to watch Ring of Honor. I don't want to go fishing for it if I'm 2 weeks behind, and I don't want to move to another city because we don't have Sinclair.
PCO.
Yeah, there's another one. I knew Keith Lee was there for a minute. Pretty Boy Killers.
Yeah.
You know,
not anymore.
Not anymore, obviously. So even then, like Ring of Honor was finding people and making guys like PCO.
Yeah.
Matt Taven winning at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
You know, but shit, man. It sucks because it intertwines with WWE releasing more people, and that's more people with less places to go. So a place like Ring of Honor that could use half of those indie guys that used to make their name in Ring of Honor, they can't even make it there anymore.
Daniel says we forgot Dalton Castle. Yeah.
Well, apparently everyone's forgotten Dalton Castle because if they were watching the show, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in now. It is what it is. You know?
Yeah.
I hope they can make it through, but it's a lot more than the talent in the ring.
Okay.
You know, if I were to hold a gun to your head, you have to watch one show, NXT 2.0 or Ring of Honor, and you'd know as many people in Ring of Honor right now that you do of NXT 2.0, what would you watch?
NXT or Ring of Honor today?
Yeah.
NXT. Yeah.
If you had the capability, the ease of access to watch both, you would still choose NXT 2.0 over Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's a little bit different of a question, because like gun to your head, how it is now, I would just say just throw on Peacock and show me NXT.
Yeah.
But if you put a gun to my head, or if you didn't put a gun to my head,
put a clicker in your hand.
You put a clicker on my head, and I could just do channel 1 or channel 2 easily. Then I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's throw on ROH and
give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, but ROH isn't on the clicker easily. At least not here in Houston, because we don't have a Sinclair channel. San Antonio did.
San Antonio, Dallas, Corpus Christi, El Paso,
something like that.
Yeah,
that's Sinclair's fault. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. That is Sinclair's fault.
And that's taking Sinclair's point of view on politics away, even though they're trying to spread that on every program that they have.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Sinclair's very right wing.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they push that on all their networks. They have must reads on all their news stations that they do, and must views, must plays, and all that stuff. But just strictly company that has Ring of Honor compared to whatever it is that's on NXT 2.0. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I think I would make the time to watch both, but I would definitely see what Ring of Honor had to offer first, because as hard as it was to watch Ring of Honor, if I made the effort to watch Mike Bennett versus Jonathan Gresham, or make the effort to go to G1 Supercard knowing that Ring of Honor matches were going to be there, that it was a co-promoted event, there is equity there. If I'm going through the effort to get at least a taste of it, and still wanting more of it, as opposed to I'm just like, I've watched maybe 20 minutes of Raw every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'll watch SmackDown be a little better. It's more quality over quantity, and their show is shorter. And McAfee makes Cole very more digestible.
Yeah,
but still, and then NXT 2.0 is very hit or miss. So out of the 7 hours, I think I would devote maybe an hour and a half total. So I definitely have room in my diet for something like Ring of Honor, and especially if it did good, then I would cut out a lot more of the WWE fat.
Yeah,
So I mean, I want it to come back, but there's history of these things going in certain directions, and they end up going in that direction, and then they're gone.
I mean, unless you're like fucking TNA, where you die 3 times, but you just can't stay dead.
The cockroach of wrestling.
And you know what? Impact ain't that bad right now.
We're gonna go over our match of the weeks, and I've got at least one in there. I might have more than one, but and Impact also got its own issues. Like, at some point, I want to watch them live, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have tickets and I will watch them live, because they're doing Hard to Kill in Dallas again. And the storyline right now is Moose being the champ.
Yeah.
And some of the signings that they've got going on. I don't want to say it's a comeback, but they're not going the way of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And it sucks that now that's the measuring stick. If you're above water, that's a success, because if you're not above water.
What I was gonna say, but then I had a second thought, was that TNA/Impact, they've kind of broken the mold of like what happens with different wrestling promotions. Because I was going to draw parallels with like you drew parallels earlier with ROH is more like ECW, and you could say AEW is trying to be more like WCW, and WWE is WWE. But where does that leave TNA? And I was going to say, yeah, they're the exception to the rule. But no, I was wrong. TNA is like NWA. Where they died, they didn't die, they came back, they're around, they're not at the prominence but they're respectable. They just don't go. They're the cockroach of wrestling. Well, goddammit, there's a more prehistoric cockroach still out there right now. That's NWA.
What, if any, WWE releases hit you the hardest?
Keith Lee, like, I don't know if I believe the rumors of that he was a prima donna and that he was hard to work with and this and that, because have been in the locker room with him. he is the sweetest man in the entire fucking locker room.
NWA Houston.
Yeah. Like, dude, he was the most soft-spoken, the most well-spoken, the most intelligent, and nicest fucking guy. You know? Like, I don't see him being difficult to work with. But
we don't have that relationship with him that he would have.
That's true, and we weren't working with them there in WWE, and I can understand why somebody would say you're difficult to work with if you refuse to be a doormat. Because, yeah, they settled on the Bearcat thing, but how much other bullshit was pitched? And
besides the tennis skirt.
Yeah, and like Adam Cole
shaving the goatee.
Adam Cole being his manager.
Yeah.
You know, and like, how much other stuff did we not know about that was pitched? And he was like, look, man, I can't do that. You know? Like, we've been sold, and wrestlers have been sold to this. You are an independent contractor thing for so long that the one benefit of it is that you should have a little bit more freedom to do with your career what you think is going to be best for your career, and not necessarily what your employer thinks, is you're not employed.
Yeah.
Right? So I could see anybody, even if it's Keith Lee, get up to the pinnacle of what we think is their career, and then them wanting to shit on it and ruin it. It's like, no, hey, I have this better idea. Hey, let's do it this way. I've been wrestling for years and years and years out on the independents, and on the independents, people have shit ideas, people have good ideas, but you can say, hey, I think we should rather do this. I think we should do that. I think we should do here. And everybody is collaborative.
Let's try it. If it fails, at least we tried it. We know it doesn't work. We'll move on and try something else.
You get to the E and you hear stories growing up about The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and all these people that, and the reason why they succeeded is because they turned themselves up to 11. They had creative control, and they had
Foley, Triple H.
They did things their own way, and it worked. Fuck, look at the New Day. The New Day took their own spin on what was a shitty thing, and they made it work.
And they added to
you know, they turned it up, and then they started doing their own thing.
They put themselves in. Then it became video games. Then it became pancakes. Then it became unicorns. Then it became Dub.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go on that.
Yeah. But you get where I'm going, right? So what if Keith Lee, who has been on all these independent things where things are more collaborative, where if he's had good ideas, he's intelligent, he knows what the fuck he's talking about in the independence, in ROH, maybe even to a certain extent in NXT, where he's been able to talk with somebody who isn't in a fucking ivory tower, and then you get to the main roster, there's somebody in an ivory tower saying, you're going to be a Bearcat.
Growl.
Like, all right, cool. He said, no, or I have a better idea, or should we go through this? That's difficult to work with? Well, goddamn, brother. I bet Stone Cold and The Rock were difficult to work with.
Yeah.
Right?
Shit on the writers all the time. Like, I'm not saying that.
And see, I don't have any.
I don't want to lose to Lesnar. I'm going to go home for 9 months.
I don't have any inside information as far as like what actually happened there, but I'm just going off of what I know of Keith Lee, the guy. And I'm not like best fucking friends with him. Please don't do that. If I were to
see Brennan.
Yeah. If I were to see him and I walked up to Keith Lee and I said hi, there's about maybe a 20% chance he'll remember me. Right?
Maybe not by name, but he'll be like, oh yeah, you
Houston. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You were the guy that was hanging out with Brennan that was encouraging Brennan to, like, heckle me before he started wrestling. Yeah, that was me. Oh, okay. I'm sure I remember him more fondly than he remembers me, obviously, right? Yeah. But just from knowing the person, that's where I'm gleaning all this stuff from. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What kind of gummy bears are those, Abel? These are, what do you call them?
Black Forest.
Black Forest.
Original, not
organic?
Not organic.
Not organic.
Original, not organic.
So these are inorganic.
Yeah. Toxic. Which is why I'm attracted to them. No. So I'm not going to disagree with anything you just said. But if we're going off of what pro wrestling has taught us, what WWE has taught us, what Vince McMahon has taught us from the history of World Wrestling Entertainment, The one that hurts the most is Karrion Kross.
For you.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's like saying it's every ingredient that I've ever wanted in a pizza. It's the exact same crust. It's at the right temperature. It comes with the right hazy IPA. I just don't want it. And that's my only diet is this. Vince has always been a for size, for look, for presentation. And if there's an attractive woman, sign him the fuck up. Everything that Karrion Kross from the moment that he debuted with Scarlett on NXT, you could have copied and pasted that on Raw or SmackDown, and it would have gotten insanely over.
Okay.
The second that he showed up on Raw, without the theme, without the smoke, without the pomp and circumstance, without Scarlett, already those are red flags. Then you douse it in kerosene and light the bitch on fire when you lose to Jeff Hardy in 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It blows my mind. And then you give him this rundown demolition cosplay mask and tights and skirt again with the skirt. I don't know what the fuck. Like,
Michael, what's up, man? Michael Network. I haven't seen him in a while.
One day I'm gonna get that product.
That's a different guy.
Oh damn! Everything that Vince likes.
I forget his name. Something
Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate. There you go.
If there's, it felt like Triple H, Shawn Michaels did everything they could to give this guy to Vince McMahon on a silver platter. And Vince wanted gold. Not great.
Fuck you, Daniel.
Ah, shit.
He said, "Oh, I meant to say earlier, as a Braves fan, you have my condolences." Fuck you, Daniel. I'm sorry. I just had to pause for that.
28 other teams couldn't touch us. I mean, I'm not. I'm better now. I drank a lot when we lost.
You know,
no,
fuck you, Daniel.
No fucking runs in the. Oh god.
You know, they say in sports it's really good to get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
But oh my god, is it bad to get cold at the wrong time? That's all that happened.
If we would have just cheated harder.
The wrong team won the World Series.
Weren't there like 8 teams above the Braves that had more wins this season than they did?
Yeah.
Oh well. If it makes you feel any better, Correa's going to end up signing with the Yankees, and he's not going to win shit.
Why in the blue fuck are you even a Braves fan? Why? The only excuse is if you lived in Atlanta for a significant amount of time. If you did not live in Atlanta for a significant amount of time, what the fuck? It's like saying you're a fan of any other team. You're a fan of the Expos.
Or you got fucked by John Smoltz. Either one.
Well. Smolton.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going with this. You also gutted some people in NXT that have a lot of potential. You gutted Kamea.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Monet had 6 matches.
Mm-hmm.
6 on NXT television. She was gone. B-Fab hurt my soul.
Yeah.
She probably was, I don't want to say the best part, but she was the conductor that kept all the trains going in the same direction.
Character-wise, she was the thing that held that team together.
They fucking edited her out of the theme song already.
Not wrestling-wise.
Not wrestling. Oh, no.
Character-wise. It's just another sausage fest. It was nice seeing a group that had a woman that it wasn't tacked on as the woman. Yeah. Like, it was nice seeing a group that had a lady in their group.
That could go. Well, that can try to go.
No, I don't even care about going in the ring. I'm just talking about it made it seem like they were a cohesive unit and they belonged together and they all respected each other and they were on the same level.
Yeah,
right.
I get that.
Not like, oh, here's the main guy, here's the tag team, and oh, we have a woman too.
Yeah.
You know, that's not what was going on here. They were an actual family unit, right? It made sense. And now that you got her out of there, it's just another fucking sausage fest.
Yeah.
B-Fab was B-Trash. You shut your hole. John Smoltz and I have never had relations. Nor have I and Tom Glavine. Okay.
What about Great Maddox though?
Right.
Oh no, wait. He's a chipper clipper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chipper
Okay.
Jones. He
Okay.
was all about that. Oh yeah.
Never missed a game.
Yep.
Never missed a game.
And that's how over we are with the WWE releases. Like it's gonna be I think there's more coming. But I think there's a fate worse than just getting cut randomly. I'm not sure if you saw this, but it's out there. And you're more than welcome to see it. We haven't been talking much about it because Hector's not here.
Oh.
G1 Climax. Finals. Kazuchika Okada won his block. Kota Ibushi won his block.
Okay.
And about 15 minutes in, maybe less than that,
Uh-huh.
Ibushi goes for a Phoenix Splash. Okada rolls out and misses, and rolls out part of the dance. He misses.
Right. Yeah.
Ibushi dislocates his shoulder.
Mm.
They call off the match mid-match,
Mm.
and Okada wins it by default. Well, not Okada winning it, Ibushi losing it because he couldn't continue. As much as he wanted to continue, you know, that fighting spirit, Japanese. They put their all in it, even when they don't have it all. And Ibushi didn't even have that arm, and he was still willing to go. But goddamn, the look of fucking New Japan this year has been god awful. You know, Ibushi was the first one to win the belt. He loses it in his first defense. Ospreay gets hurts his neck. He's supposed to be out for like 9 months. He's back in 6, but the fact that he got hurt, he lost the belt. He had to relinquish the belt. Takagi, our buddy Shingo, has it now.
Yeah.
G1 Climax, we're trying to find someone for him to defend the belt against the Wrestle Kingdom. Naito gets hurt in the second match in the tournament.
Jesus Christ.
And then the fucking finals, Ibushi gets hurt mid-match. And that's it for him. So that's 3 down this year through injury, either immediately or concurrently through that IWGP, New Japan Pro Wrestling World Title.
Sonata should have won. Okay.
Oh, we got people actually listening to the Japan stuff.
Daniel
All
says
right.
Sonata. That's Sonata.
Sanada.
Yeah. Not the car.
If this is the kind of streak like Final Destination we're going to, do you want Sonata to be a kind of guy that you want to lose for 6 to 9 months with some crazy ass baseball slide injury? Because he's probably safe. He's safer of the workers than Will Ospreay. Well, Ospreay slowed himself down a bit because he got a little heavier.
Yeah.
But he's always been known to do the kind of style that Kota Ibushi does.
Mm.
You know? Damn. Sonata versus Shingo, huh? We still have time to change all that stuff. And there is 2 nights. There's 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. So
Oh, yeah.
technically this year coming up, there's 3 nights.
Mm.
So,
Wait, what?
yeah.
Are you serious? 3 nights
So,
of Wrestle Kingdom?
January 4th, January 5th, and then January the 11th or something.
What?
It's like in Yokohama or something is that 3rd night. But technically, as fans, Wrestle Kingdom's those 2 nights, if not the first January 4th, that January 4th night.
Okay.
But you could always have Sonata to get a shot at Takagi later on. But damn, that fucking watching that,
Yeah.
it hurt.
So you actually made the time to watch Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to see this finals because I was curious to see where we're gonna get Ibushi and Takagi.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching it as it happened, man, it's a 1-2 gut punch. I'm not sure if you've seen this episode. One of the most recent episodes of Dark Side.
Dark.
Yeah,
No, I
with,
haven't watched any Dark Side.
FMW and Onita stepping away and then making a star out of Hayabusa. And they actually show the match where Hayabusa paralyzes himself.
Ooh.
He does a springboard moonsault, tries to do a springboard moonsault off the ropes. His ropes slip, and so he lands, and his head is like this, and he goes like this, and then flat. And he paralyzed himself in the ring in the moment. Watching that episode and then watching Ibushi hurt himself in the moment, I was like, man, I'm gonna give Japanese wrestling a break. It's just it legit would hurt me that bad. I was like, no, I can't do this.
Wow.
Your mouth. I can't. No. It's been a couple of weeks. You gave me a segment on what tickled your fantasy. Are
Yeah.
there any matches that come to mind?
I haven't watched that much wrestling.
All right, so hit me with the AW. What do you remember from AW that you were like, God damn?
You know, there was a match last night, or was it night before? Last night. Yeah, last night was Wednesday.
Blue Chew's kicking in.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe there is something in these gummy bears. God damn.
It's an unknown aphrodisiac to us diabetics.
Hey.
Pick your poison and give it to him when you get home.
Leo and the other kid versus Matt Seidel and his other kid.
Dante Martin and
Yeah.
Leo Rush
Yeah.
against Lee Moriarty
Yeah.
and Matt Seidel.
Yeah, there you go. So the two trainees.
That was like a fucking game of Hungry Hippos. There's all of them going.
Which, you know what? That match sold me on Leo Rush.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Had it been that long since you've seen him actually wrestle, you forgot that he can actually wrestle?
No, I got turned off of Leo Rush. Because, okay, I never really saw Leo Rush until he got into WWE. When he got into WWE, he immediately made an ass of himself by saying whatever he said about Asuka.
Oh, that's right.
And then, like, he never had a chance to really have a whole lot of really good matches. Never, like, and then he became Lashley. And I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And then he left, and people were, like, really low on him. And then I never caught anything that he did outside. And then when he got signed to AEW, I'm like, oh, signed to AEW.
And then he retired again.
Yeah. No, he retired again, then he came to AEW.
And then he retired again.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he was like, yeah, I'm studying fucking Wall Street. I'm like, God damn it, they're gonna this stupid fucking kid. And now, like the couple of promos that he did, where he's trying to teach, what's his name?
Dante Martin.
Where he's trying to teach Dante Martin. I was like, all right, that's cool. He's a little bit too young for me to buy him as like the grizzled old vet that's training the young kids. But whatever, I'll let it pass. Just like that's the story they're going. That's the story they're going with. Whatever. Like you get a fucking 25-year-old training a 19-year-old at Taco Bell. Okay, sure. Maybe it just varies from career to career. All right, sure. Whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to suspend my disbelief with the whole who's the actual teacher thing, and I kind of dug it.
Did you see the match where Martin beat Seidel one-on-one?
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, okay, I'll go with this. And then I finally got to see what Leo Rush could do without the hamstringing of WWE trying to water people down. And what I saw him do in the ring last night is shit that I don't think any of the other three could pull off. But it was the right other three to try to do it with. Yeah. Whereas I don't think he could have done that with anybody else in the WWE except for maybe Ricochet. But even Ricochet, they turned down his RPMs just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. I'm like, oh shit, this is what he could do? Fuck. All right. Now I'm back on board.
And that's the guy teaching Dante. And that's the guy getting Dante over.
So now I'm there. Like I said, last night, I'm sold on the guy. I don't think this is my match of the month or week or whatever the fuck we're doing nowadays. I don't think it is, but it's a strong contender. I thought it was a really good match.
I have a list.
You have a list.
So let's get started.
Oh, God.
With a match that disappointed me. A match that I thought, a match that I've been looking forward to for at least 6 months, maybe even longer.
Oh, okay.
And it disappointed me. And that was Jacob Fatu against Alexander Hammerstone, title versus title. MLW Fightland. I was expecting a war, and I got somewhere between some wrestling and slapping. Like it wasn't all there. Jacob Fatu, he can fucking go for a guy his size, but I don't know if they just didn't click, or if Alex Hammerstone's wrestling style is too I don't want to say 80s or 70s, but I want to say safe because it looked like he was whiffing a lot of kicks, he was whiffing a lot of punches. And with a guy like Fatu, where you see him chopping Hammerstone and leaving a mark on Hammerstone and body slamming him hard and being stiff, throwing his body around, I didn't feel like I got that same amount of like impact out of Hammerstone's moveset. And just watching the match, it's going too long when you're checking your phone or you're checking the clock to see how much time is left, or you're looking at the YouTube video and you look at the YouTube timer to see how much is left. I was like, yeah, I was waiting for it to be over at some point. It kind of let me down.
This is the second time that I've watched MLW because of you, and I've been disappointed. Both times. Now, the first time, I can't tell you who was wrestling. I really don't remember. I just remember you saying, hey, let's watch MLW. I think that this match is going to be good because of this guy. And it was like a guy that was like a well-ish known name who went to MLW, and he was going to fight their champ, but their champ absolutely sucked, and the match sucked.
Was it Leo Rush against Myron Reed?
I remember it was a little white guy, and it was like right around when MLW was first becoming a thing.
Oh no,
I don't remember.
Tom Lawler,
short white guy. I don't know.
He was not short, but it might have been against Loki.
Maybe. I don't remember who the name was. I just remember who the guy that was not the name that they were trying to say, this is our champ, and he's good, and that's why we're fighting him, putting him against the name established guy. Okay, cool. Name established guy, all right. Wow, this looks like whenever, like, you get AJ Styles to fucking show up at the bingo hall here to wrestle your top guy, and your top guy that's been champ in the territory because there's nobody else working the fucking territory. And that guy sucked. And yeah, that was my first.
I get it. He sucked.
He sucked. That was my first exposure to MLW, and this was my second exposure to MLW that you exposed me to. And I was like, this isn't that great. Alexander Hammerstone.
Hammerstone.
Yeah, well, he's not throwing away his shot, but he seemed a little bit too much of a throwback inadvertently to me. Yeah. I see what you're saying, that you want to say he was too 70s, 80s, but he wasn't, because I felt like he was doing shit that was just 70s, 80s because he couldn't do any modernized shit. Like, he tried to do this one really cool looking, kind of modern-ish, kind of throw suplex kind of thing, but he botched it and dropped Fatu and almost dropped him on his head, but he like recovered and they like turned it into like a awkward body slam, power slam thing when it was supposed to be some sort of weird fancy suplex.
It shouldn't be illegal to wrestle in jeans.
I mean, maybe it was the jeans. Maybe that's what it was. He was wrestling in jeans. He had a fake tan. He had the long hair.
White jeans.
Yeah,
white jeans.
He looked too old school. He looked like he wanted to be throwback, but he wasn't ironically being throwback. Like, it wasn't like Cena having the throwback jerseys. It was like, oh, I'm supposed to be a wrestler. Let me look up what Hulk Hogan and fucking Big John Studd looked like.
John Studd.
Back in the day. And like, that's all your exposure was. You never heard of The Rock. You never heard of Chris Jericho. You don't know what happened with the Monday Night Wars. Like, yeah, and that was what you modeled your wrestling after. Like, you were gonna, like, the only other person that you know about is Brock Lesnar, and you're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna be Brock Lesnar and Hulk Hogan. That'll work. Yeah, and like a third of the size. I'm sure for MLW he's big, right? And MLW he's big. But in WWE he'll probably look like fucking, I don't know, Bobby Roode.
Damn, you compared this fool to Bobby Roode. Okay,
I'm talking size.
I get it. You don't like him.
He ain't that big. I'm sure in that little way, it looked like a 15 by 15 ring. It was like a Doomsday wrestling ring, right?
Doomsday's 10 by 10. There's 7 by 7 for the good luck.
This table is bigger than Doomsday's wrestling ring. But
you can't even do an F5 in Doomsday.
Well, yeah, because in Doomsday, they don't even have the referee inside. They have the referee on the outside, and they slide under the second rope so they can do 1, 2, 3, because they don't have room to have 3 people in the ring at the same time. Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
The Casino Battle Royal, where Hangman came out as the surprise entrant and everyone lost their collective diarrhea shit and won.
Yes. That was good.
CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia on Rampage.
Yes, that was good.
A little bit more of a grappler. Punk actually selling that he couldn't do the GTS, so he put him out with the Anaconda Vice.
Yeah.
Like that. Qualifying for King of the Ring, Cesaro against Finn Balor. That was good.
I didn't watch it.
I watched only for name value, and I give you the other one. Ricochet versus Xavier Woods was better than I thought it was going to be. That's another one that I was like, man, Woods has been talking up this King of the Ring for like 5 years. If he don't win it, every black wrestling fan is going to erupt. Impact, the main event of Bound for Glory, Christian Cage against Josh Alexander for the entire story might be my overall pick as match of the week.
I heard that was really good.
It was a great storytelling match. What Christian does better than most, especially now at his age.
It's lose?
Push shot it, that too. But make it meaningful. Josh Alexander won it. The crowd was going for Josh in that match. Ironically, he won it. He had his sexy ass wife and his kid in the ring. And in that moment, Moose came out, cashed in his pick your shot challenge offer. And while the family's in the ring, he fucking beat Josh Alexander, beat him for the title, and his family's in the corner crying. Oh my God! As much as I liked the evolution of Josh Alexander from singles wrestler to tag team with Ethan Page to running the tag team division to him getting the X Division title and putting some stamp on that to him finally becoming world champ. As much as I appreciate the evolution of Josh Alexander, Moose fucking deserves that world title run. And him being the certified heel that he is right now versus a guy that has that like underdog, like grassroots kind of come up like Alexander does, that could be your next 4 months of Impact television and supplement some good matches beneath that, and you have a run. What ROH could have been doing. You could have, if you have enough there.
Yeah.
If you have enough there, a little bit of exposure, a little bit of internet following buzz.
Yeah.
You make that go. The tag match from last night. You mentioned it. And then today, the match I should have showed you from MLW.
Oh.
Semi-final match for the Opera Cup.
The what?
The Opera Cup.
Opera Cup.
Apparently that tournament's been around for decades. Old, like
what?
Yeah. And MLW, I don't know if they inherited it or they brought it back or whatever. But yeah, they've been doing the Opera Cup.
The hell are you saying?
Yeah. Semi-final match.
Okay.
Bobby Fish versus Davey Richards.
Okay.
Very MMA-ish.
So again, when MLW brings in the names, that shit's good. But they're homegrown talent.
And they advertised Bobby Fish as from AEW. This isn't the first time.
Okay.
I think last year Rocky Romero was in the tournament and they advertised him specifically as New Japan. And they had, I think, Aerostar from AAA or something as an alternate, maybe. So there were two positives about last night's episode of Fusion Alpha. One was that match.
Fusion Alpha?
Yeah. So so it's like the next level. It's 2.0. Fusion Alpha. Because they're bringing in Aztec Underground and they have Dario Coito back and they're teasing Matanza as like the fifth guy for Team MLW in their War Games match that's happening next week.
Why does this all sound very great value?
It is because when you watch it, it does not have the Lucha Underground, Robert Rodriguez production, mystique, je ne sais quoi presentation.
Okay.
It's fucking Bush League.
Like, Mom, I want Lucha Underground. We have Lucha Underground at home.
Yeah, and it's that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the lighting's awful, the dialogue is awful, but hey, they got people too. EJ and Duque, former football player. He was a top prospect in NXT, and they let him go. He's in MLW, and he's getting some shine.
You know, somebody else that we didn't talk about when we were mentioning the releases was oh God, I forget her fucking name in NXT, but fucking AQA from Booker's.
Tian Sha?
No, AQA. That was her name.
Aqua?
Yeah, that was her name in
I have no idea.
Bookers.
I haven't. That sounds like the tail end of. That sounds like ROW. I'm familiar with PWA.
Well, see, I know her government name, and I just don't want to say her government name because I don't think she wants her government name out there.
Oh, in front of the thousands and
Yeah,
thousands of people that
everybody
are
watching
us.
here.
Yeah.
All the fucking Daniel Price, and that's it. Fucking Braves fan motherfucker over here.
As a wise woman once said in a movie, let it go.
You know, it was all right when a couple of years ago
We're in Houston. The cold doesn't bother us anyway.
we had a Nationals fan. It's okay. I respected the Nationals.
I shopped at Walgreens.
But a Braves fan? Get the hell out of here.
What's worse? A cheating team like the Astros or a racist audience like Atlanta? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? We took their land, goddammit. Show them some fucking respect.
You know, I'm going to quote a very great man.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm going to say this.
I'm too drunk to taste these gummy bears.
No. If you don't know the facts, you need to shut the fuck up. All right?
I quoted mine from Frozen. Where'd you get yours from?
That's Los. That's Los Correa. If you don't know the facts, you need to shut the fuck up. You keep you're the one bringing up the cheating thing. But
I mean, look, my trash can's back there.
You need it. No. If you don't know the facts, you need
Just
to
don't tear my jersey.
There's no. You get rid of that cheating bullshit.
At least the Yankees had Apple Watches. That's how they got theirs off.
It's not cheating.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
You're not cheating if it's technology.
And the other good thing, more of this Forbidden Door shit. We're looking at AEW and Impact because Christian Cage had the title.
Yeah.
Well, Omega had the title, and then Christian Cage was there.
And Christian Cage was there.
We're talking AEW and fucking AAA now because
Aerostar, Raymer, whatever. Yeah.
Samurai Del Sol and Aerostar were on last week's Impact.
Yeah.
We're talking fucking AEW and New Japan because they're Tony Khan's actually like the fucking Rocky Romero and now fucking best friends are part of Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know who that brings in the table, don't you?
Naito? Who?
Current G1 Climax winner Okada Kazuchika. He's the leader of Chaos.
Oh yeah.
And Tony Khan's openly admitting that on Twitter.
Oh, Naito was Ingobernables, right?
Hector would so punch you in the face right now. Yes. But there's another door that's got little cobwebs.
Is this the back door, not the forbidden door?
It might be the back door. It smells funny.
Ooh.
We've all smelled that finger. Wait, no, it's this finger.
What was on the other finger?
Richard Holiday. So
Dick Holiday?
Yeah.
Who's Dick Holiday?
The name of the faction is escaping me. But in this faction was a heel, Alexander Hammerstone, a heel, Richard Holiday, and the leader, a heel, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And in the beginning of the episode, Richard Holiday is on his earbuds, Apple earbuds, and he's like, I'm on the phone with somebody. And the insinuation is that he's talking to MJF because he's talking shit about Sting, he's talking shit about Darby Allin, and he's like, no, brother, you got enough on your plate. I know we're looking for somebody for War Chamber, but I'm not going to put that burden on you. I'll handle it. So they're teasing all this other stuff.
Right.
So this melting pot of all these different colored brands of AEW, New Japan, Impact, MLW right there, that little dirty one right there, and then New Japan and AAA. That's going to make things very interesting for the wrestling fan that wants all that. Which one you want?
Which one's the dirty one? Ooh. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, agree with your tongue first. Yeah. I'll boot you here. Yeah.
Robert says, I feel bad for Katrina Cortez. She's selling her belongings and moving back to Chile because of her visa. Which one's Katrina Cortez?
Don't remember.
Okay.
But damn, that sucks. And
Another story that's relatable to fucking Eddie Kingston, where he had to sell his boots to pay his mortgage. You know, there's even now, just because you've made it to the WWE and you have the paycheck every 2 weeks by WWE and you have a contract with WWE, it's just fucking guaranteed anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, almost like if you're independently contracted without.
Oh, yeah.
New Japan's having a show this Saturday.
You know, if fucking Andrew Yang were to run for president again, I'd probably vote for that motherfucker just because of like his fucking independent contractor stance with wrestling. I don't care what his fucking other views are. Vote for him just for that.
Support us, but make sure that WWE gets
yeah,
it.
yeah.
New Japan's having a show this Saturday in California. Just a couple of matches.
Wait. New Japan is having a show in California.
They're actually having 2 shows.
In California?
Their U.S. ticket is having a show in California. Their Japanese ticket is starting off the Best of Super Juniors tournament and World Tag League tournament in Japan. Okay. But we're focusing on the show here in California. Juice Robinson against Moose.
All right.
Okada against Buddy Murphy.
Okay.
And your favorites, Jay White against Tomohiro Ishii for the never openweight title. That's gonna main event the show. Yeah.
You know, ever since I changed my mind on Jay White from that one match, I was like, you know what? I'm totally turning around on Jay White.
Yeah.
Ever since that, I haven't seen that one Jay White.
God damn it! Can't take you anywhere.
Jay White hasn't been able to cash in on my fandom ever since I became a fan.
If I find a clearance Switchblade shirt at Hot Topic, it's got your name all over it.
You know what fucking Aaron, if you're still in the live chat, you know what fucking Aaron got me for my birthday? He got me a Jordan Grace shirt. A Jordan Grace t-shirt.
I didn't even know she had one.
It's in the dirty in the dirty laundry pile. The dirty laundry.
You wore it.
I did not wear it.
Oh. You gifted this man lingerie? You, sir, are an acquired taste. And let me just remind you, motherfucker, my birthday's August the 4th.
Oh, there we go.
Anything with holes in it.
Oh.
Rampage tomorrow.
T-shirts have 3 holes.
Technically 4. The big one's on the bottom.
Oh.
Rampage tomorrow. Matt Hardy against Orange Cassidy in a lumberjack match.
Wait, that's on Rampage? I thought
Yes.
that was at the pay-per-view.
No, Rampage.
Que la chingada. What?
Give me a number.
Oh!
It's been a while.
7.
5. I think I'm done with Hardy and Orange Cassidy. This needs to be done.
I think I'm done with Hardy Family Office.
You know what? I think that's it. I think I'm done with Hardy Family Office.
Of all the Matt Hardy iterations that we had with him after he left WWE, you know, the big money Matt in New Japan, and then or not New Japan, in ROH, and then the Delete and all that shit, and then going into WWE with the Woken, and out of all these reiterations of Matt Hardy, this has been the weakest.
Yeah.
This has been this. It's not big money, Matt, but it kind of tries to be kind of the way how Woken tried to be Delete, but it wasn't really.
I think the biggest problem for me was, I can't believe I'm quoting the movie again. Let it go. You already had your success with Broken Matt. It was past its prime when you brought it back from the dead for WWE. You should have came into AEW fresh off the boat with something completely different.
And he did.
And he didn't.
But
No, he brought back the Broken Matt gimmick, the Vanguard thing where Jericho tried to give it a shirt.
That's true.
That's what we saw.
That's true.
Because everyone thought that Broken Matt didn't get its due when it was the fans' fault. They weren't paying attention to Impact enough. That's why.
Okay.
Don't look at them, fuckers. Look at yourselves. So they try to placate him and to do the broken, woken shit at fucking WWE. So he should have just came out the gate with something completely different. The broken stuff didn't last
Well, now
long.
he's
Then his
trying
head
to.
bounced off the floor, and then even then you had the perfect opportunity to do something else completely different, and you didn't. And now this is where he's at now, where I kind of don't care about Matt anymore. And it's not that I love Jeff. I really don't care about Jeff right now either, but Matt specifically, because he's in the environment where he can strive without any strings around his arms, ankles, or neck, and still not giving us anything any better than someone like his brother who's confined to the WWE machine, who's also trying to regurgitate possibly the Willow gimmick. So Hardy's, it's hang him up. I can't believe I'm saying it, but hang it up.
All together? Hanging up
Altogether.
all together?
All together.
I wouldn't mind if I would see Matt Hardy managing. Like, just straight up managing. Because, like, this is like a half measure management situation that he's doing now with
He
the Hardy
tried to
family
do it
office.
with Private Party just
He
as
tried,
is.
but he couldn't stay away. He wasn't able to establish it, and that's where the Hardy family office came from.
Yeah.
So it's like he's part wrestler, part manager. He's trying to do this hybrid thing, but he's like too heavily involved in the physicality of it for me to believe the manager part of it. So to me, it's not the Heenan stable. It's just another big faction in a roster that's overbloated with factions.
Yeah.
AEW has too many goddamn factions right now.
And too much airtime. If you're counting Monday, Tuesday, Dynamite Wednesday, and then Rampage on Friday. That's just as much time as WWE does, and I ain't putting in that effort either. And I like AEW.
You know, I did make the joke earlier that I was like, well, I have enough hours to watch 5 hours worth of AEW. I don't. That was a joke. Because I'm not watching Dark or Elevation. I'm only watching Dynamite and most of Rampage.
You're fast forwarding the commercials, you're only watching 30 minutes worth of Rampage anyway. So
Yeah.
it's not that big a loss.
Yeah.
Bobby Fish against Jungle Boy is also happening on Rampage tomorrow. What do you think about that?
If this wasn't obviously a setup match for the pay-per-view, to kind of, well, they even had the fucking promo last night. This is, hey man, can you soften them up for me? I've seen that trope played off in wrestling so many times that, like, I know that it's not really gonna matter. So most likely Jungle Boy will win, but I can see where he doesn't win. But if he doesn't win, it's fucking inconsequential. Whatever. I'm at a 5. Even though on
You
paper,
ruined it for me. I'm at a 5 too.
on paper, Jungle Boy versus Bobby Fish, holy shit. But since it's like, oh, you're the tune-up, warm-up match for the real match, with like, yeah. That trope in wrestling's played out, man.
I've got a DQ finish. I don't even have a finish to this. It's going to be a schmoz because they're building up to the match on Saturday.
Okay.
So let's get to it. The match on Saturday.
All right.
Jungle Express and Christian against the Super Click. Adam Cole
Baby.
and the Young Bucks.
8.
Is that story or is that name value?
A little bit of both. I wish that I was higher, but I'm not. And it might be just because there's just too much faction warfare in AEW, and I've seen that play out too many times on Dynamite. I mean, fuck, last night we had 2 breakdowns after matches where different factions jumped the other guys. The Hardy family office did it, and then these guys did it, you know?
And Top Team.
Oh, yeah, and we had it 3 times last night. 3 times where the heel factions got involved after the match, and then they...
Lazy booking.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not digging the rinse and repeat when it comes to the factions in AEW.
I'm at a 7. This is a lot less to do with the faces and a lot more to do with the heels. This is a chapter in this bigger story of what's going on with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks and what it could possibly lead to. But in order to get through the story to the end of the book, we have to read this chapter. I'm running like a 7. It's inconsequential to me, even though I'm kind of picking the Super Click to win it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I got Super Click, and the reason why is because while Christian mentoring and helping along Jurassic Express, Christian's not a part of the Jurassic Express, so this has been and always will be just a temporary thing to give Christian and the Jungle Express something to do. It's not about them; it's about the heels.
Is this a possibility where they lose? Christian gets mad at Jungle Boy because they lose. Christian turns heel, and we get Christian versus Jungle Boy to, because obviously the big picture on the face side is we're elevating this kid Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Can we do that further by having him go against Christian?
If that is what happens, I'll be very happy. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that they're going to turn Christian and have a program with Christian and Jungle Boy going out. Now, AEW has been a lot more harder to predict than WWE. So if I'm pleasantly surprised, great, I'm pleasantly surprised. But my prediction my Peter Tingle basically says that it's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm not going to count on it. If it does happen, great, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Another tag.
Okay.
Pac and Cody Rhodes
Okay.
against Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. Where you at?
5.
That's it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like Cody and Pat
They're not a
teaming.
team.
I don't like that being a team. And it just thrown together last night. Oh, and now Cody's coming out to help Pac. Wait,
It's been a couple of weeks in the making.
I mean, I get it that
The enemy of my
the
enemy is my
enemies are
friend.
coming together. Yeah, I get that part, but this is it's cheddar in my cake. I like cheddar and I like cake, but I don't want cheddar in my cake.
Your complaint about too many factions. We had Heart Foundation. We had DX. We had Nation of Domination. We have the New Day. Undertaker stood alone, except that one time he didn't stand alone. But my point being, you don't like the teaming of Pac and Cody. I don't like the teaming of Malachi and Andrade.
That's fair.
I want to see those two fight because AEW is mostly, it's not mostly storyline driven. It's mostly match driven. They tend to build dream matches, which is why Bryan Danielson is wrestling anyone under the sun right now on AEW and making everyone better than what they were. So I don't want to see Andrade and fucking Malachi teamed up. I want them co-main eventing the fucking Dynamite episode.
Here's what can make this a little bit more interesting. I don't know if it's going to make it better.
Fuck it, give me Cody versus Pac too.
You kind of jumped the gun. What did Malachi say in that one promo from last week?
Oh, was
it just Caesar that stabbed, or was it just what's his name?
It wasn't Brutus that stabbed Caesar in the back.
It wasn't just Brutus that stabbed Caesar. There you go. Yeah.
Marcus or something.
Well, it was like 13 fucking people, right? Like it was a bunch. Yeah. So you have heel and heel teaming together to fight another heel that's teaming with the face that's coming to the rescue, but the face is kind of a heel too. But whatever, we'll just ignore that fact. But he just referenced stabbing in the back and multiple people doing it, and all of a sudden the baby face is with the heel in a tag team. I think there's going to be some stabby happening. I think Pac's going to
that triangle reunites and kills Cody.
Yeah, and somehow they're aligned with the cult of Malachi, and somehow Idolo's all with that. That's your fucking
but Idolo's also teaming up with fucking FTR. So as Idolo is part of fucking
that's your 13, or how the Ides of March is the 15th, right? There's 15 people that stabbed Caesar. I don't know. I'm not good at fucking history, but it was a lot of fucking fuckers, and all of them plus all of them plus all of them is a lot of fucking fuckers. And if all those fucking fuckers are fucking Cody, then that makes sense. Because they're all fucking.
Fun fact, Ides of March actually happened in September.
Well, apparently it's going to happen in November the 12th. Or November the 13th, whatever. Whatever day the fucking pay-per-view is.
Oh, man. 5. I've got the heels winning too. Yeah.
Which ones?
The big group, the NWO group that's led by MJF, Pinnacle. Yeah, with all them motherfuckers.
Right.
Every family's got that black sheep, and Malachi's theirs. What else? Speaking of which, MJF against Darby Allin.
9.
What's keeping you from busting that whole nut?
I don't know if I'm convinced that this is going to be an elevation for either one. And I think it's like, can it happen? Yeah, if the match is good enough. But I don't watch MJF for the matches.
You watch him speak. You listen to him.
Exactly. He to me is a little bit along the same lines as Eddie Kingston. I although I think MJF is better than Eddie Kingston in the ring. I have the very opposite issue with Darby. I want to see Darby do crazy shit in the ring. I don't necessarily want a Darby promo.
I can get that.
Keep him silent.
Yeah.
Have him on his little motor skate.
If it's one thing he should be learning from Sting is don't talk.
Yeah, don't talk. let your friend film you on that fucking 8mm camera that's like all old school, doesn't work, and the tape for whatever reason that you overexpose the negatives, so it's always like the wrong color.
Yeah,
I think that's what the kids call sepia nowadays. So yeah, do that. Continue.
about that. You ain't got no kids.
Yeah, I know, right? Do that with him. I don't know if we're gonna get an elevation of either one out of this matchup. I don't think we're gonna come out of this match thinking more highly of MJF or Darby.
There will be by elevate. You have to you can elevate both by doing it one at a time, and by that, the feud with MJF with Jericho was fun, but I don't think him winning the last match did any favors because they wound up losing in a stampede anyway.
Okay.
MJF, whatever his undefeated streak is, other than his loss to John Moxley, he needs to beat somebody that can garner him more heat. I don't think him beating Jericho garnered him more heat. Him calling Darby Allin an elementary school shooter, and him
God damn.
and then following that up by beating Darby Allin, that's gonna elevate MJF to where if he talks enough shit with the clout of him already beating Darby, then when Darby beats him in the rematch, they're higher, both of them.
So you think
But you can't do it together. MJF needs to win this match.
Needs to win this match.
Ooh. Otherwise, he's going to be like Eddie Kingston. He doesn't care about wins and losses. He's just there to run his mouth, and somebody's going to listen.
Yeah.
You know? He needs to beat Darby.
Okay.
Yeah. And that doesn't help that the last match that Darby had, it doesn't help that the last big profile match that Darby had
against Punk, and he lost.
And he shouldn't have lost. He shouldn't have won either.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Should have been a draw. Should
have been the draw. So that you had that what if leading to this match where he didn't beat him.
Yeah.
So I'm at an 8 for both of them. I like them both. Well, I'm invested emotionally in both equally. I really like Darby. I hate the fuck out of MJF. So they're both doing their job well, and they're two young guys that are supposed to be like the future of the brand.
The pillars of the 2 of the 4 pillars of the company.
Yeah. And now with Furniture, you have that 5th one underneath in the middle to make sure everything stays sturdy. And that's where they left out Sammy Guevara.
Well, Sammy is one of the 4.
No, they left out.
It was Sammy, Jungle Boy, and these 2. Those are the 4.
They left out somebody else. There's one more. There's one more.
Who? If you say fucking Archer, I'm gonna slap you.
No, I was thinking Orange Cassidy, but there has to be somebody else.
Oh, I mean, yeah, maybe Orange.
As far as synonymous specifically with that brand.
Yeah, Orange.
Yeah, he's the 5th. You don't see him because all he does is this.
Right. He needs more blue chew.
He needs Blue Chew about as bad as MJF needs to beat fucking Darby Allin.
Okay.
So I'm at an 8, and I've got MJF winning this. I'm picking MJF to win.
All right.
We talked about it earlier. Let's just get right to it. Your number for Eddie Kingston, CM Punk.
9.
I'm also at a 9. Who
Okay.
you got winning?
Punk.
Kingston.
I don't think that they're gonna have Punk lose for a while. Eventually, he's gonna get a world title opportunity. I don't know who it's gonna be against. It's gonna be a good fucking dream match scenario. But Punk's gonna ride that wave and keep winning and winning and winning and winning. And they're gonna fucking milk the shit out of that PR that they can get. And while it may make more wrestling sense to, you know, and be more interesting if Kingston wins, I agree with you there. I don't think that you can risk the look who we got. We got CM fucking Punk. You don't get CM fucking Punk to lose. At least a kind of established guy that, you know, doesn't really need a win. It would have been in a draw to one of the young kids.
You know, there was a guy in AEW
Okay.
that was destined to be their first heavyweight champ,
Yeah.
and he lost.
Yes.
And
Yep.
then the next year, destined to be #1 contender against his tag team partner, and then he lost.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing the promo last night that tied in 3 years of story within one character. So I can see a guy like CM Punk beating people left and right, eventually becoming world champion, maybe even turning heel. I gave you the best of me. I gave you what you wanted. Now the fuck with all of y'all. I'm going to do what I want. And there's no one in AEW that can stop me. No one has beaten me. No one's ever beaten me until we get the one promo between CM Punk and Eddie Kingston, knowing how good they both are on the mic. And we get that promo because early on in Punk's hubris, he thought someone was a bum. And he dropped his guard enough for this bum to roll him up and pin him and beat him early on in his return to wrestling in AEW. And that 2 years later, we can have the Bronx equivalent of cowboy shit with Eddie Kingston. This is the perfect time for Eddie Kingston to beat CM Punk. And don't even bring it up again until 2 years later when Punk's that asshole that you want to lose, that you want someone to knock him off his high horse. And wouldn't you know it, there's a guy that can sell you on one promo to watch his match. That's fucking Eddie Kingston. I've got Kingston beating Punk. And that's why you need to sign me, Tony Khan. You need to sign me.
That is brilliant. That is beautiful.
And it's not WWE.
That makes wrestling sense. But you're wrong. That's not what's going to happen.
Anyone in the chat agree with me? Come on.
It's not going to happen because you have too much invested in the fact that you have CM Punk in your company. CM Punk is your one and only golden goose teddy bear. That's all you
Bryan
have.
Danielson is fucking chopped liver?
No. Bryan Danielson is one of the hardcore people that don't know CM Punk as a household name.
No, there are people that know Daniel Bryan is a household name from Total Bellas.
Not Daniel Bryanson. Or
Bryan
Danielson.
They use his name. They call him Bryan Danielson.
I
got you. I got you, bitch.
You don't got you.
I got you.
You didn't get me. You didn't get shit. Ow.
Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year. An American Top Team. Junior Dos Santos, Jorge Masvidal, and Dan Lambert. 5-on-5, Minneapolis street fight. Give me a number.
4. I don't want to see these MMA guys try to wrestle because they're going to potato somebody and hurt someone. I don't want to see Dan Lambert try to wrestle because he's going to slip on a potato peel and break his own coccyx.
My coccyx! I'm sorry!
I'm getting to that point where I don't want to see Jericho wrestle because I don't want to lose the mystique of what Jericho was in his career. He's getting to that point of, all right, you're Michael Jordan, but you're playing for the Washington Wizards. You need to retire.
Or you're playing baseball and you need to stop.
Yeah. Like no. I don't need you in that role anymore, Daddy. That's for somebody else. That's not for you anymore. I'm to that point where there's a lot of I don't want to see these guys wrestle in this match. There's a lot of that. They're all for different reasons. But there's a lot of I don't want to see these guys wrestle. I really don't want to see any of these MMA guys fight. I really don't.
I'm at a 0.
Settle! Why 0?
Talk shit all you want. Ronda Rousey's debut in WrestleMania was fire. Brock Lesnar's return from the MMA against John Cena. Other than that one spot over the ropes, that was fucking brutal. And he made up for that by raping John Cena at SummerSlam and ending the streak of The Undertaker. For what it's worth, Cain Velasquez in Triple Mania, when he debuted, he was fucking good. Not great. Not setting the world on fire.
Right.
Half of Mexico's already on fire.
Yeah.
But he did good. If you weren't paying that much attention, Junior Dos Santos' debut on Rampage was pretty good.
Okay.
It wasn't great. He wasn't setting the world on fire. But it was good. It wasn't awful. It wasn't bad.
Right.
With that equity, I would want to see Masvidal debut in an actual wrestling match. I would want to see Junior Dos Santos' second actual wrestling match. I think having this as a street fight gives them opportunity to hurt someone for real. You want to keep them confined to a regular 5-on-5 tag match. So they have spots, they have little flurries of beauty, of execution. And then when they think that they're out of their depth or they just are getting tired, tag out to somebody else. 5-on-5 street fight, it's not conducive to the booking, in my opinion. Even if they would have gone with the chick, with Van Zandt instead of Lambert, it's still not conducive. It would protect Jericho too, because he wouldn't have to wrestle that much. He could just tag in and out, you know?
Yeah.
Above all that, I'd rather see Sammy Guevara defend the title against anyone, the TNT title, against anybody.
5-on-5.
I'd rather see a tag match with fucking Men of the Year against Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah.
But again, in pieces, so that maybe on an episode of Dynamite or in Revolution, you can have your actual 5-on-5 and actual tag match. And then, I don't know, maybe Double or Nothing, culminate that with a Blood and Guts or another Stadium Stampede match.
Yeah.
And you can actually have all the story built up to this is why we're having a street fight.
Yeah.
You know, you could have actually stretched this out. I might be in the minority. Dan Lambert's probably one of the best heel guys on the stick right now.
Yeah.
And even if you put aside the MMA guys, you haven't really. And here's the other thing. Again, I'm not watching Dark. I'm not watching Elevation. I don't yet. On the television that matters, you have not given Ethan Page or Scorpio Sky as heels enough time to solidify their worth to where if Lambert says this guy's got an MMA background, this guy has a black belt in karate, I have not seen any of that shit on television for me to believe this.
To me, Scorpio Sky and Page, they're just wrestlers. Good wrestlers. They're just
great
wrestlers.
personalities.
Great personalities. They don't seem like they fit into this bag of dicks.
Yeah.
That
promo videos of either of them doing karate kicks on the bag or scrapping on the mat. Nothing to prove that these two are on the same level as former UFC champion Junior Dos Santos, former UFC champion Jorge Masvidal. Nothing.
When you're trying to tell me that the dude from SCU is now a badass MMA fighter without showing me reason to believe that he's a badass MMA fighter and not what we've been seeing for the last couple of years of being a really badass indie-rific wrestler, there's going to be a disconnect.
Yeah.
And same thing with Ethan Page. Okay, even if you take the angle of, well, Ethan Page in AEW is different than whatever else he did outside. If you take that away, you're just giving me a guy that just debuted and I don't know what he's seen. Now, AEW is known to not do that. AEW isn't WWE where they say, this guy in WWE is a new guy. You're not supposed to know what goes on. That's not what happens in AEW. In AEW, they acknowledge their past careers. So if you acknowledge the past career of Ethan Page, he's former TNA Tag Team Champion with Josh Alexander, who is now fighting for the World Championship. He's a badass, good wrestler who's a charismatic heel. He is not an MMA guy. Both of these people,
or karate guy, black belt in karate.
Right. I mean, I know that they say that, but he's just a badass wrestler. Notice that I keep saying badass. They're good, but they don't fit in this stable. This stable is supposed to be jerks who are from MMA,
shooters,
who are shooters, who have disregard for professional wrestling because, oh, we're the real fighters.
Yeah.
You're telling me that these two badass professional wrestlers all of a sudden lined up with MMA fighters to think that, oh, we're real fighters.
Yeah.
When all you've seen out of both of their careers is that they've been on the other side of that fence. I don't have sufficient reason to believe that they've changed their mind.
Did I miss an episode of Dynamite where Jake Hager fought Scorpio Sky in an MMA style match in an MMA style cage?
No.
Or anything?
No.
Or Ethan Page?
No.
Dos Santos? Masvidal?
Not that I'm aware of.
Van Zandt's husband?
No.
Not in? No one. So there's no proof in this pudding
Yeah.
that every bite's gonna taste like MMA.
Yeah.
Or mixed martial or
Yeah.
karate. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's zero. I don't care who wins this match.
Yeah.
And I honestly hope they move on with it. I honestly hope that the MMA group, minus Men of the Year, stick around and actually wrestle. Because if AEW, for all intents and purposes, becomes a viable option to post MMA career other than WWE, you're going to see more than just Jake Hager and Junior Dos Santos and fucking Masvidal from UFC or from Bellator show up.
Yeah.
If he were still alive, I would not be surprised to see Kimbo Slice in AEW. Because he has a personality, he has a history, but he also has a story that you can cheer for.
Okay.
There's more guys that could benefit from having another option other than WWE as an alternative when your MMA career is over with. And I'm not even saying heavyweight guys. You can have your Matt Riddles to fight your Timothy Thatchers, and succeed just as well as the heavyweights do.
Yeah.
So I want to see that work. These pieces aren't making that puzzle.
And
you finished all that shit.
What I was going to say is, like, the other thing, too, that gets a big yawn out of me for this, the best thing has been Lambert, the way that he's trying to sell this. But the big yawn is, when are we going to get over this bullshit with MMA guys having this character of, oh, I'm the MMA guy? Right? Like, we've
so far, Riddle's the only one that hasn't done it.
And even then, I see Riddle as a wrestler who trained in MMA.
Yeah.
I don't see him as this MMA dude that looks down on wrestling and I'm here to teach these people that play fight how to really fight. Like, we've had
technically CM Punk hasn't done it either, and he had 2 matches that drew money in MMA for UFC.
True, but he was a wrestler going to MMA,
just like Brock.
Brock was a wrestler going to MMA. Anytime that we get
Alberto Del Rio,
same thing.
Yeah.
When we get wrestlers coming into wrestling from MMA, that's the storyline that you get. That's what happened with Tank Abbott. That's what first happened with Ken Shamrock. Now, eventually, Ken Shamrock assimilated, but he was still the MMA dude. But it's such low-hanging fruit that it's fucking boring, unimaginative, and uncreative when you say, here's an MMA guy, and their gimmick is that we are the real fighters and you're not, because it undermines wrestling.
So you want to be Vince McMahon and devoid any MMA talent of the one thing that makes them different from anyone else in the roster.
No, I want to do with them. Skip those first few years with Tank Abbott. Skip those first few years with Kevin Shamrock, and just have them be good wrestlers. Kind of do what I know we just kind of glossed through it, and I just kind of poo-pooed it. Riddle. Because what did I say? I said Riddle.
His gimmick wasn't MMA. His gimmick was a stoner.
Right. Riddle is a wrestler who was really good at MMA. Not, he's an MMA guy who looks down his nose at
What was your first impression of Dan Severn in 98, 97? UFC guy or NWA World Heavyweight Champion?
Good point. Good point, because he established himself in both without looking down on one.
On either, yeah.
Because fucking Steamboat, he didn't show up and I am a kung fu master. I look down on wrestling. That wasn't his shtick. He was a wrestler who trained and has a background in fucking kung fu, right? There was a whole like early wrestling video games had the brawler, the big guy, the techno wrestler, and karate. Right? That's what they had. It was a style of fighting and training that they brought to the ring. It's not like the karate guy came in just like, I'm just so much better. Like fucking, no, they were wrestlers. Steve Blackman was a wrestler who was just really good at all this other shit, so that's how he whooped your ass.
Yeah.
That's what MMA should be. When you're transitioning over, not always have to gimmick. I'm an MMA guy, so I know real wrestling. Because by saying that I know real wrestling implies that the wrestling that you're doing is not real, and it's the F word, fake. Gotcha. Off my soapbox.
Number one contender, final round, Bryan Danielson against Miro.
10! Damn it, Bobby! Yeah!
Here, let me join you.
10.
Who are you gonna love first?
God, I don't know. I mean, shit.
It has to be Miro because I already expect Bryan Danielson to do what Bryan Danielson does because I've seen what Bryan Danielson does.
I know, but
This feud between Miro and Jehovah is something out of this world. Like I'm showing, like
almost heavenly.
If I'm going to Minneapolis, I'm showing up with my Watchtower and Awake in hand. Danielson has to say goodbye to his wife so Miro can say hello to his. Fuck me, dude.
Man.
And bonus points, and I don't want to say this in a negative light, bonus points if Miro's the one making this stuff up because it's fucking genius. I haven't seen him outside of wrestling. I didn't watch enough of Total Divas to know what he's like as a human being with his wife, CJ Parker, if his English is good or if his accent is non-existent when he's around her. But him right now is like, I've completely forgot about video game Miro. This is my dude. To the point that I want Miro to win. And maybe booking, if I'm calling the main event the way I'm going to call it, that face is going to need some heels. And Miro can be a good 3-month program. I'm at a fucking 10. I want Miro to win. Danielson's going to make Miro look like a goddamn treasure.
There's points where an angle will become a character trait. And I'm not sure where I want to go with Miro yet. If I want this just to be an angle where he's trying to get back the affection of his god, and he is
and permission to be with his goddess.
Right. I don't know if I want this to be just an angle, because right now the character is God's chosen, and he's God's warrior, and he was God's favorite champion, and now he's neglected by his God. So, but the thing is, he's still like worshiping his God through his wrestling. Cool. That's
negatively.
That's the character. The character trait is he's worshiping his God through his wrestling, right? Whether he's winning or losing. And I don't know if it's just the angle that temporarily right now is that he's being punished, but then he gets back into the good graces. If that's going to be an angle, or is it going to get to that point where it's a character trait where he's always going to be the one neglected by his god? Because if he loses, he's going to be neglected by his god again. And then that solidifies it when it goes from an angle to a character trait. And I'm not sure which I want more. And D-Rod can win or lose, and he'll be okay. If he wins, great. He's at the front of the line to get a world title shot. Cool. If he loses,
a rematch with him and Omega would make much money.
Yes. If he loses, it's goddamn Daniel Bryan. His record's still great. He has one loss. Eventually, he's going to get enough wins to get to the point where he could be a world champion, a contender again, even without a tournament. So fine. Miro, same thing. Both of them can be number one.
Miro
contenders.
loses, the feud between him and God continues.
Yeah.
So it gets better.
So yeah, again, do we want to make this a character trait? Is that we're going to land? Do we want him to be God's favorite warrior, or do we want him to be the one who's trying to get God's attention?
And this is also
it's so good.
And this is also a place where it doesn't matter if you're heel or face. So how intriguing of a matchup, tail of the tape, would Kenny fucking Omega versus Miro be?
Yeah. Oh my God.
The best bout machine against the best bout on paper.
What about the Hungman? The Hungman that everybody likes. The cowboy shit. Oh my God, he's so great.
Solidify his run against Bryan Danielson.
No.
Face versus face.
No. Have him going up against the monster heel Miro.
The options are plentiful.
Oh my God. Miro? That's your first fucking title defense? Just winning, going through a war.
The guy that fails every time finally gets one.
It.
And his first defense. The Ibushi trait. This is why we love AEW. This is why they get our attention.
Oh my God. This is going to be so great. I'm happy either way.
What if Hangman got CJ Parker pregnant this whole time?
Ooh.
No, we're not WWE yet.
He's the Hungman.
I want Miro to win. That's my pick.
Okay.
I'm just watching the last 30 seconds of us reacting on fucking.
I don't know who's gonna win.
You gotta pick one.
I can't predict it.
You can't. You want to come back to this?
You know what? You pick Miro, I'll pick Ryan.
Okay.
Just to say that we're different. But man, if I want either one of them to win, I want to see the match.
Where they can go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucha Bros against FTR for the AEW tag titles.
9.
Does it water it down that we already saw them and they lost the AAA belts to FTR, or does that not matter to you?
A little.
That why you're not at a 10?
Probably.
I'm at an 8.
Okay.
Part of it is that. I think the other part is, after watching the match already, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be a fan of what they come up with this time.
I'm not sure if I'm
they were missing something in that last match.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be a fan of just watching Wheeler. I know this is going to sound fucked up, but when we thought that he wasn't wrestling anymore because of his arm, and they did this whole farewell match thing, and they're like, okay, this is going to be the final time we get to see him, and then he just showed up 2 weeks later again, like, oh, he's fine. I feel a little disappointed. Like, and I know that's weird to say that I'm disappointed that he is able to wrestle, but I mean, it was like, dude, you fucking.
Does that matter?
Is that fucked up?
Does that matter? Because after watching
I guess
Dax Hardwood main event Dynamite last night, he might be the HBK out of that team, leaving one-arm Bandit to be the Jannetty.
You know what?
You won me over.
You know
I got
what?
some respect after that.
Yeah, because after seeing that, I might have wanted to see Hardwood solo.
Yeah.
In a federation where there's too many goddamn teams, too many goddamn factions, Hardwood going going solo with just Tully, which is okay to have a manager, right? But if it was just Tully and Harwood,
You like the
I
contrast of
might
styles?
like it.
You
I
like the
might like it.
contrast of styles? How about Dax Harwood against fucking Dante Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have him be the lone man screaming at a cloud. You know, the lone old guy trying to keep old school wrestling alive against all these fucking indie-rific flippy dippies who isn't just old and set in his ways, but can actually kick your ass still doing it too.
And how much of that is a storyline compared to actual character traits?
Yeah.
For that line.
Yeah.
I'm at an 8. I've got the Lucha Bros winning because I don't see FTR that much longer as an actual team.
Yeah.
After what I saw on Wednesday, I'm probably dead wrong. They're gonna keep tagging, but it's not gonna be the same.
Because I feel dirty for what I said. That I was disappointed that
You
he's
expected
okay.
him to be gone for a while. You wanted to miss him. You wanted to miss him.
I didn't get to miss him.
Yeah.
I felt like I mourned prematurely for no reason. You know, and that's a fucked up way of thinking of it. But it's like, oh, you're back.
2021 COVID.
You
Yeah.
know, like, oh, okay, you're fine. Well, shit, that was a whole lot of what to do over nothing.
What do I do with all these balloons and the bear?
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I can't uncry these tears. Unbreak my heart. Say you love me again.
I knew you were gonna go full Weezer. I mean Tony Braxton. I prefer the Weezer cover.
I
Yeah,
mean-
Tony Braxton.
You know, you could pull this thread as I walk away. But soon I'll be naked.
Beautiful transition. Britt Baker, Ty Conti for the women's title.
7, 8, 7.5.
I'm at an 8.
Okay.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. Storyline wise, this is probably the best contender Britt Baker's had.
Okay.
And I might be naive to think that after what we got in the beginning of the year with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, I would think that Thunder Rosa would be the woman to take the belt from Britt Baker
Okay.
later on down the road.
Makes sense.
So maybe Ty's not the one, but
Ty's
it's going to
not
be a great match. I'm going to have fun. Ty's one of the few girls in there that I get the impression that she's making an effort. She puts in effort. I haven't seen her make a lot of mistakes. I have seen that there's times that she doesn't she's not stiff or doesn't snap back some of her stuff. But she's nowhere near like the bottom end of some of the girls that make the mistakes they do.
Ty's on the come up.
Yeah, and she's on the come up for me.
She's on the come up, but she's not there yet. I don't think she's gonna win this. I think Britt's gonna win it.
The exposure will do her good though.
And yes, this will be a good growth point for her. I don't want to say that this match is gonna elevate her even in a loss because that can always go sideways real quick. But there's potential there. But I don't think that this is gonna be a watershed moment unless there's really some effort put in there. And ultimately, Britt's winning this. And I think that the only person that could take it away from her would be Thunder Rosa. Or
Don't say Soho.
no.
Okay.
Or maybe Taya. Whoa, what were you thinking? I was thinking maybe Taya. Taya will show up and she'll get elevated to where she needed to be. She'll be a gringa loca again.
I'm thinking that we'll have some kind of meeting of the minds between AEW Women's Champ Britt Baker and that bitch show champ Jade Cargill,
Okay.
and then Jade takes the belt from her.
That's in the works
know.
too.
And maybe that's the match that, as much as people might not be ready for it, could possibly turn Britt Baker completely face. Because I don't think you're ever going to cheer for Jade Cargill. And even if you have two people, one that's booked as a heel, but you go all the time in unison with, and another one that's that bitch, you're not cheering for that bitch. You're cheering for
DMD.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Thunder Rosa would be the obvious
I don't know.
first pick too.
Rey Mysterio booty pants. Oh, goddamn. Oh, I love Rey Mysterio booty pants.
Oh, if her face paint from Day of the Dead has that little Rey Mysterio mask curve on the top. Oh,
Wait,
Two birds.
She had face paint on.
I've got Britt winning.
Man, I mean,
I'm at an 8.
anytime I see Jamie Hayter, I'm like, ooh, Rey Mysterio booty pants.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by.
Oh, Jamie Hayter. I think
Yeah, because if you look at her ass, it looks like Rey Mysterio's mask.
Okay.
What did you think I was talking about?
Oh,
You thought I was talking about Thunder Rosa because of the? No, man, that's racist.
Oh, come on now. It's not if we're the same race. The buy-in.
The buy-in.
We have Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter against Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida.
Jamie Hayter.
Number
7. It's a buy-in.
7.
It's for nothing.
Devil's advocate. If enough fans of women's wrestling complain that the only match for the buy-in is a women's match, and you want to placate that audience by putting the women's tag match on the actual pay-per-view, what match from the pay-per-view would you bump down to the buy-in?
This will never happen in a million years, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The 5-on-5 clusterfuck to MMA guys.
Ah, damn, that's a completely wrong answer.
Okay.
The correct answer is the one Cody's in.
Oh, one Cody's in. Okay.
You want that if the buy-in's free, you're trying to get WWE fans. So you put WWE wrestlers on there. You put Aleister Black. You put Neville. You put Cody Rhodes. You put Andrade.
You don't put Chris Jericho and Jack Swagger? And then a bunch of MMA guys that MMA people fans will recognize?
No, because MMA fans know how to pay money.
Oh.
WWE fans are used to paying $10 on a network.
Oh.
But if you get $10 fans together
Yeah.
in a room,
Yes.
they might put up 60. It might total 60.
Now, if you have this hypothetical 6 $10 fans together in a room, how many of them are wearing deodorant?
Well, then they're having to spend $10 on wrestling.
Yes.
And they probably have $0
to spend on deodorant. Now, Dr. Squatch, man. I mean, that's all
You're
you
welcome. Omega versus Hangman.
All right.
Number
10. 11. Oh, you're a
Remember, at least for one of these guys, this story's been built since the second AEW pay-per-view. Well, technically the first, because he qualified at Double or Nothing that I went to in Vegas.
Okay.
So this has been 3 years in the making.
Yeah. Cowboy shit.
Yes.
All right.
Who you got winning?
I got Kenny Omega.
I desire, if I'm paying for it, I demand Hangman Page to win.
Yes.
However, I listened to Busted Open today.
Yeah.
And Bully Ray brought up a very interesting point.
Oh, what did he say?
9 days after Full Gear, AEW Dynamite will be live in Virginia, the home state of Hangman. Would you rather have Hangman win in front of 30,000 paying fans on pay-per-view? Or do you want Hangman winning live on TNT in front of 1 million fans for free against Kenny Omega?
I mean, it worked out so well for WCW and Goldberg in Atlanta in the Superdome.
And for Omega and Moxley when Winter came last year.
Wait, Winter's wrestling again?
Yeah. It's come out of retirement. It retires 9 months out of the year, but every 3 months
he didn't get it.
Or a season, Winter comes.
He didn't get it.
I didn't get it. No.
You don't remember Winter?
That chick wrestler?
Yeah.
You see how much I remembered it? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hangman. I want Hangman to win.
I want Hangman
but
to win.
But man, how much heat could Omega get if he doesn't give the AEW fans that always want everything to not get the one thing they want the most?
That heat would be so bad. I don't know if it's going to turn people away from
I was
AEW.
about to say, is that Glenn from Walking Dead heat? You tease it so much,
that you just
maybe I don't know, man. Like that's really skirting that line there. I'm not sure. Like, is this about enough heat where people are just gonna get upset and just like not watch AEW for a little while?
how
I
many
don't know.
strikes has AEW done to the wrestling fan? Do you remember?
Not very many.
Letting the match continue after Matt Hardy's head bounced off the concrete.
All right. The
Exploding Barbie
exploding-
death match.
Yeah.
Jericho dying on pillows.
Yeah.
Cody's existence. I think that's it.
And then
Technically, we'll talk about this in the end of the year review. Booking Hangman knowing his wife was pregnant. And that's hit or miss. That's hit or miss. But
you can't stop nature. You can't stop love, Chris. You can't stop love.
you either put on the condom or don't
You
swallow
can't-
the tube.
You can't stop love, Chris. You can't do it. You can't do it.
That's for your lawyer to decide. Man, do you do it? Do you hold back Omega and Hangman? You want Kenny Omega to win,
I don't want Kenny Omega to win.
but you're predicting Omega wins.
I think he does. It's risky, man. It's risky. It's risky, but ooh, the trolling would be so delicious. Oh, that trolling would be delicious.
So you're looking at the trolling from the Omega side. How about the Samoa Joe side? Does the iron cool down enough that
Yeah.
it doesn't mean the
That's-
same?
That's the risk.
That it doesn't mean
That's
the
the
same if
risk.
he wins it 10 days later as opposed to the bigger stage.
That's the risk, man. And I'm looking at this just from Full Gear. I'm not looking at what happens in Virginia.
As a guy that likes anarchy, despite that, I still want to see Adam Page win.
Okay.
But goddamn,
I agree with you with who I want to win.
Okay.
We're on the same page. I want Hangman.
We're on the same page. Wink, 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 wink. Yeah.
Scott, what's up, Scott?
Better late than never, fucker.
He wants Hangman versus Miro or Kenny versus D-Bride.
What about Kenny versus Miro?
Nah. That doesn't have the same oh shit factor for me.
It's like Kenny versus Ishii, but he speaks English.
Because it's going to be Kenny and all the rest of Kenny's friends versus Miro and God. And we know how bad of a wrestler God is. God couldn't win a match when he was teamed up with Shawn Michaels.
But in the Third of Corinthians,
It
does state that the devil has many faces. And at some point, you have to attack each face head on. So when he gets to Kenny, there's no Adam Cole. There's no Bucks. There's no Spray Boy. There's no Nakazawa.
Spray Boy.
There's no Callus. It's just them. And only them. There's no Third Corinthians. I hope somebody caught that.
Yeah, I caught that. Although,
But I've been on a booking roll tonight if you haven't heard.
although, fun Bible fact. So there's First and Second Corinthians, right? Right? But in actuality, First and Second Corinthians are really Second and Fourth Corinthians, because you've never found the old scrolls have never been found for whatever was the first and whatever would have been the third. So that's what they actually have. What's in the actual Bible that's labeled as first and second are really second and third, or second and fourth. Fun fact.
The more you know.
The more you know.
This might be a better pay-per-view than All Out. And I'm not saying that because I'm actually going to be able to watch it. But looking at the card, dude, this stacks up pretty good. I'm a banker, so I'm
Scott said Bible talk, I'm out.
Heathen!
He is obviously not God's favorite fan.
No, the reason is everyone in the Bible, there's enough people in the Bible that turn water into wine. We don't fucking drink wine.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
He turns yeast into beer.
There's no hops in fucking wine.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though my
And
math is
he turns beer into piss.
yeah. Red piss. I don't know if that's a ginger thing or if that's something that we need to talk about privately.
Ouch.
My math is impeccable. Even though there is a 0, I'm still giving this pay-per-view a 10. And I'm not even fucking going. This card, dude, top to bottom, regardless of how shitty that 10-man tag's gonna be, I'm gonna be singing that Judas song. So they got me for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And maybe for $20 because Fozzie's coming in March. They'll be at Warehouse Live.
Okay.
Yeah, with a couple of no-namers opening up, but I'm
Yeah.
sure that's going to sell out sooner or later. So, yeah, I'm at a 10 for the show, and I can't wait for it. I might, depending on the situation, I might actually end up knocking another one off the list. I might be watching this at Cinemark. Ooh, $27 for a ticket, but it's at the theater, surround sound experience, surrounded by other people that are there to watch it.
That aren't wearing deodorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll try to sit high up. And I'll have double
No,
mask.
higher rises. Bull, you want to sit low.
Double mask. And I'll shower twice before I go.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll wear a fucking Dr. Squatch break. And then just let that permeate.
Just give out your fucking referral code to everybody.
I'll never have to pay for soap again.
Get fucking business cards with your code printed on there. Scott says, I love wine.
He loves whining.
Ah.
Wrapping up, there's a whole bunch of wrestling coming. So let's put the Houston first.
Okay.
In Houston Wrestling Radio.
Yes.
Tomorrow,
Yes.
Friday, the 12th.
Yes.
What are you doing?
UPW in Texas City, the Texas City Live Bar and Grill. We're going to have UPW come and take it. We're having
That sounds like a lawsuit.
we're having a tournament. A tournament? A tournament.
With toys?
Yes. And the toys are the wrestlers. And he's but yeah,
I got the stiff one.
yes. So we're having a tournament, and we are gonna have match, single elimination, move on to the next round, and then you have a winner. The winner, I believe, is going to be new #1 contender for the big title. So come check it out. Your boy is going to be doing commentary.
So you can't really hear it.
Right.
So just stay home and watch it.
Right.
That's how you get the experience.
Download the Max Sports TV app.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's where we're streaming it. We're
Okay.
streaming it on an app called the Max Sports TV.
How much?
MAXX. It's free. Just download the app.
Oh, shit.
It's streaming free.
Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
What are you doing?
I'm doing ring announcing. What? For DZW out in Brookshire, Texas.
Are you getting paid in actual currency or hot
I don't
dog?
know. I'm getting paid. Well, maybe a hot dog. No, I'm supposed to be getting paid in currency. Nobody ever pays me in gum. But
E-Bears.
Gummy bears.
Ah.
But no, yeah, doing ring announcing is at the Hangar Unity Center in Brookshire, Texas. So come on out to that. Hambone is officially taking over duties as the new commissioner now that David Dubron is stepping down, and Hambone has promised Fudge is returning.
He said
So
duties.
he's gonna be bringing back Fudge, selling his Fudge. So make sure you come check it out. Our champion Romeo Falcon will be defending his title against Luther Black.
GCW is coming in December.
Okay.
Game Changer Wrestling. Friday here in Houston, Saturday in Dallas. Tickets are out there. They're expensive. AEW is going to be in Dallas this December. Garland, Dallas. Tickets aren't that bad. This Friday, tomorrow, tickets go on sale for Impact. Hard to Kill in Dallas. That might sell out because it's not a big place. It's actually a little bigger than Gillies where they were last time. There were no pre-sale for that. Otherwise, I would have already had them. Also tomorrow, tickets for Wrestlemania in Dallas. Wrestlemania 38 go on sale this Friday, tomorrow. Both nights, the tickets start at $30. And I already am a fan. Number one, your boy already got motherfucking ticket.
What?
I'm taking my nephew to his first ever WrestleMania, 100,000 people in Dallas for both nights. After I told that motherfucker I only have enough energy for one. because it's WWE
Oh,
and there's
my.
no NXT. But I didn't want to cramp the kid because it's his first one.
Yeah.
I'll bust his balls in the next one. This time I'm going to both shows. But the other reason why I'm a big fan, I don't know if it's the Dallas Stadium or if it's WWE just giving a big fuck you to Ticketmaster. They went with SeatGeek. With SeatGeek, they only charged me a one-time fee of $10,
Okay.
and that was for both tickets
Oh.
for each night.
Okay. Okay.
So I've shown you screenshots
Yes.
where a $20 ticket
It's,
turns into
50.
$50
Yeah.
because of Ticketmaster convenience charges and taxes and fees and arena fees. $60 turned into 70.
Okay.
That's it
All right.
each night.
Yeah.
That's fucking good. $10 fees for no matter how many tickets you're getting. Maybe that's just my experience because I was getting nosebleeds, and maybe the more expensive seats, the fee might be a little bit higher. But first impression, I am very impressed. Navigating the site was pretty straightforward. Got my tickets specific to the code because there was about half a dozen codes out there, and it might have been different for anyone else.
Okay.
But
Your mileage may vary.
yeah, your results may vary. But overall, 2 thumbs up for SeatGeek. I'm a big fan. Got my shit. I'm ready to go. What else was I gonna say about that? I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Yeah, 2 nights again. Ring of Honor is supposed to be doing their comeback show that weekend. I'm not sure what else is gonna be going on that weekend, but there's a whole bunch of wrestling coming.
A whole lot of
A whole
wrestling.
lot of wrestling. Yeah, be ready.
All right.
I think
That's it.
that's
Well,
it.
then I think that's the show, guys.
It's only been
2.5
hours.
Yeah. All right. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
So,
What?
do you want to come next week to preview Survivor Series?
Maybe.
Or we can preview Survivor Series and talk about AEW.
Yeah, probably so.
All right, we'll work something out.
All
I
right.
guess we'll see you next week.
All right.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, my ass. Oh, my ass. Oh.
I'm glad the audio on my phone picked that up.